Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, let the light shine through. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Cycnoides domesticus. Found across the British countryside, it is known for its distinctive call, proud, majestic stature, and for being an all-round, inconsiderate little git.
Who's this? The true prince of new sense. Cruise in, what you going to need a new fence? Abusing the humans for my amusement since I hatched, and every afternoon since. You can look the blues, but you won't see any boot prints. Doesn't take a sleuth to deduce just who's been brewing up a feud with a bottle full of rube. Yes, I'm coming home to roost and they're gonna need some tutoring. You can try to shoe me, but I'm a tad imprudent. This community is soon to see some new goosey improvements. All your property? Yes, it belongs to me. Oh, I see you disagree. Whoops, it's ruined. I waddle on to the allotment, squatting the shallots, then make off with half the plop while you're not watching. Popped in for and half the gobble of your stocks, then I'm off to see the shops, and you wonder where your crops went. Run up with your onions, pluck a couple pumpkins. I don't even eat them, I just steal them and I dump them. Nothing's more fun than befuddling a bumpkin, huddled in the shrubbery while smuggling your luncheon. I didn't knock, I just had to grab a quick fix. Leave it unlocked, I'll be back for cabbage picnic. Picking Nick's picking on a scared kid, mixing up his glasses on his ass while I scupper with his air fix.
What a foul day, wasted again, chasing waterfowl away. We've had it up to here and we're all about to break, living in fear of the terror from the lake. What a foul day, wasted again, chasing waterfowl away. We stuffed them full of sage in the oven on a tray, but the RSVCA say the bugger has to stay, so we suffer through the pain of another foul day.
Have a honkety honk, have a topple over buckets and they're dropping their bonk on the noggins of plonkers who thought they could conquer me. Want an apology, tough luck, I'm off with your crockery. I do beg your pardon, I think you're in my garden. I've decided that it is, so please don't be disheartened. It's survival of the fittest and it harkens back to Darwin. I thought that we were British, don't you have a lip to harden?
He stole the keys to the gate, put me right in the lake, made me crush me thumb and up to run away.
He wrecked my roses
And broke my days.
locked me in the garage, ravaged the marketplace.
Banned from the pub for messing with the punchers.
Made up for me a monica and left me on me bum.
The big scary bird get me off with a quack. Stole a plane, made me pay the shop lady for it back.
I care not for fences, I'm on the offensive. A feathery devil who revels in senseless attempts at upending your endlessly friendly pretenses. Your temper's expended, oh, was that expensive? None of it's hateful, you ought to be grateful. A face-off with nature is basically staple of countryside living. That's just what I'm bringing, occasional chaos, but awfully tasteful.
What a foul day, wasted again, chasing waterfowl away. We've had it up to here and we're all about to break, living in fear of the terror from the lake. What a foul day, wasted again, chasing waterfowl away. We stuffed them full of sage in the oven on a tray, but the RSVCA say the bugger has to stay, so we suffer through the pain of another foul
I'm sticking my neck out and setting the borders. A little respect for the new pecking order. You call me a hoarder, a menace, a thief. Have you thought that I'm all that you've got? The relief from the boredom ensured by a rural existence of thickets and cricket and picnic subsistence. To call me sadistic is far too simplistic. I'm twisted, but only to give you assistance. They've all got it in for me, living in infamy. Mischief's my gift at the cost of your dignity. Every day's a fight with the stick that I'm given. I say it's only right that you give me that ribbon.
Do you want me to open the replay?
In a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Season 9 ladder season. I am here with Jency. Thank you very much for joining me, Jency.
What up?
Today we are going to be doing a profile of his bot. So I think, first up, your bot was new last season, wasn't it? And pretty much came out of nowhere and took second place in the tournament. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did you manage to get such a well-performing bot so fast?
I've spent quite a lot of time on it, but
Yeah.
I started working on the bot in May last year, and well, I don't know. Maybe it's the way I approached creating the bot that has helped me a lot, because the way I'm trying to improve my bot is that I basically study and learn the game as if I was trying to play it myself, but instead of practicing myself, I try to implement everything in my bot instead. So instead of just trying to figure things out, through trial and error, I've been studying the game a lot. So that has been really helpful in getting the bot to work effectively,
definitely. Well, it seems to be working well. Anyway, before we start, let's get to the results of this week, which I'm sure everyone is very anxious to see. Up on the website now, guys, so you can check it out if you like. But here we have the results. Second place to Micro Machine again. You must really hate Raph now. Like, got this rivalry going for him. So, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesse Bot has been like second in the past 2 tournaments. So I'm really hoping I can start beating Micro Machine consistently at some point.
Yeah.
At the moment, Jesse Bot can sometimes beat it, but it's still not consistent enough.
Sure.
So there's a lot of work to do there, especially on the army control.
Yeah. So we got Sharpened Edge in third on that on 35. Sorry. Let me get to the results on here. Yeah. So quite a way ahead of Sharpened Edge on 26, and then Three-Way Lover 25.5, Spiny on 25. So there's a bit of a clump there with Tier. Additional pylons, Octopus on 20 and 20.5, Strelok down on 19, and Mad AI 17.5. Gumbies, which is my new bot, could have done better, 14. Mech Sweep and Eva on 7 and 6 respectively. And then PlaySC2 bot on 0. So I made a bit of a fuck up with that one. I kind of done so it's basically NanoApe submitted it, and I didn't quite realize that it was not actually doing anything. So it ended up getting through my not very adequate checking process. So yeah, but that will be unfortunately disabled for next week. But if Nanobot wants to update with some fun new behavior, then we can re-enable that. But so yeah, quite a fun first week. So yeah, let's get straight into some of the replays, shall we?
Yep.
Right, so I think the first one we'll go is, we'll see the replay with you against Micro Machine. I think that's one I sent you, wasn't it? If we do that one first.
Yep, I'm loading it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just loading it myself, so that's all good.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm not quite. So yeah, I mean, like, so what first sort of like got you into just making a bot anyway? What was your inspiration to go and make a Starcraft bot?
Well, I've always liked like different kind of manager games or games where the AI is doing a lot of things. Like I played a lot of Football Manager, for example, where I've been able to build the team and make the tactics, and then see the AI, do the things on the match engine. And I've always found that, or those kind of games, very entertaining for me. So improving the bot feels like I'm playing kind of a Starcraft manager game. So I find it really enjoyable, and that's how I feel about making the bot. So
that's brilliant.
it's like Starcraft manager for me. And
that's how we're going to do
competitions where I can take part in. So it makes it even more fun.
Cool. So let's get into the game anyway. Let me know when you're good to go. Put it paused at the start. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, so we're starting this game with Micro Machine down the bottom left on red. You're up in blue on the top right. Yeah, so some of the new maps are quite different. This is one of the more standard maps in the new pool, I think. But I mean, it's no Zen.
Yeah, this is like the first time I see this map, basically.
Cool. And your bot always with the good manners. Good luck, have fun. You know. It's,
yeah, it still cannot give up when it's losing. You know, so you just play till the end. But
yeah, Oh, I basically coded a bunch of Monty Python quotes into mine, so just go with that.
Yeah,
It's a standard British thing. Just go with it. But yeah, so have you done any special coding to get around Micro Machines' new proxying techniques?
Well, not really like any Micro Machine specific. This is just a GenziBot's standard reaction to a proxy. So it's able to scout and recognize that there is a proxy, and then it will start defending on one base, and eventually it will build the CC on high ground and then try to take the natural expansion.
Yeah. So you just basically realize there's a proxy by there's no barracks in their base rather than actually searching for the proxy itself.
Yeah. So this is really, it's pretty easy to detect a proxy here because there's no production buildings at 2 minutes mark. So it's time to get back home. As you can see, the worker scout.
Yeah, I think you can pretty safely say at this point you're being proxied. So
Yep.
But yeah, your Reaper comes out pretty much the same time, so chases him away nicely.
Yeah, just in time. The Micro Machines proxy is pretty far. It could be closer, so it could have its Reaper come like a few seconds earlier.
Yeah.
It might be a bit of a pain, but now it should be contained pretty well.
Yeah, I think Raf was saying that the positioning is actually quite random. So, yeah.
Do you happen to know the hotkey for turning off music? Because I already have the music really loud.
I think you can do, I don't think there's a hotkey for it, but I think it's F10 and just go into the sound options. I can pause if you like for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, pausing.
Sure, let's pause.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the music really loud.
Okay.
There we go. I'm at 301.
Okay, I'm just slightly behind you, but that's fine. Right. But yeah, I think like the thing about Micro Machine, it's like he does stay on one base for a little while, but it's very difficult for you to kind of like get onto more than one base once his constant harass starts.
Yep, exactly, and that was something I really had to work for a while. My bot got stuck a lot of times when it was trying to expand against Micro Machines. At some point, Micro Machines seems to like to expand the whole map, just starts building bases a lot, and that sometimes got my bot stuck when there were no expansions left to expand to. So
yeah, I think we saw that in the first game at the tournament where it just got to a point where Micro Machine just had all the bases and you were actually doing quite well against the army. It's just you couldn't like replenish as fast as he could.
yeah.
So, but yeah. But yeah, now we see you've pretty much got that tightened up, and there's no way that Reaper's getting in there at all.
Yep. So now it's contained, and we're just waiting for resources so we can build the CC.
Yeah, I think one thing I've noticed you do well is like as soon as something gets attacked, you pull like a bunch of SCVs to go and repair it.
Yeah. I prioritized the bunker.
Yeah.
In repair, so it should get repaired.
So I noticed you're building the new CC on the high ground here. Is that something you've done specifically because of Micro Machine's constant harass, or is it something that you've?
It's standard when defending against early aggression.
Cool.
So it's much safer that way than trying to build it straight at the natural.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so what's the priority here now? Is it just getting tanks and marines and everything out, or is it something?
Yeah, yeah. Now when the second season is on the way, the bot is just building units with all the money it gets until we have the natural secured.
Ooh, losing the
So that's
Raven
the
there is
main
not good.
goal at the moment.
Yeah, losing that Raven there was not fun though.
Yep.
That's yeah, I could do without that one. But
Yep.
Micro Machines Reaper harass is still ongoing. It always surprises me, like how much damage you can get done even this late in the game. You're up at about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it can be annoying even this point of the game, but
Yeah.
okay. So now we got the natural secured, and
You got the tanks out there as well, so that's always good. And as soon as you actually get like a hold of a position, then you can defend it. It's just getting that position that's the problem half the time.
yeah. And now when we have the natural secured, Genji bot goes back to like a standard macro build and tries to macro up and get up production and upgrades. So that's what's gonna happen for the next 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, you're going to be under some pressure though.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's another Raven there to spot out the cloaked Banshee, which is good. So I don't know if Micro Machine actually targets the Raven specifically, but I guess that's more of a priority target.
Yeah. So it's hard to say. I'm not quite sure about the targeting priorities for Micro Machine.
So what are your main targeting priorities for your army though? Are you deliberately going for specific units, or are you just firing up against the first thing you find?
Well, here the Marines and tanks basically just shoot whatever comes the closest. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't think in TVT there's not that many targeting priorities for the tanks, except when there are opposing siege tanks nearby.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
just
Marines
blow up everything that comes near. Yeah.
Yep. And the Marines are just trying to hush away all the enemy units away from the friendly tanks, so they can just fire without being under attack.
See, and now you have Micro Machine, like, doesn't want to get in range of the tanks, so just going back and forth here.
Yeah.
So
this is interesting defensive position that my bot has taken, and well, this is the first time I see it playing this map, so there's definitely something to tweak here. Well, as long as it works.
I mean, it's not too bad. Like, I mean, it'd be better on the high ground probably, but take as much space as you can, I guess, especially in TVT.
That is actually high ground. I just noticed that the ramp near the natural goes down and then it goes up again. And GenjiBot has chosen this side of the ramps to defend on. So
there is some quite interesting kind of like paths in this map, certainly.
Yeah.
So do you play a lot yourself? Just normal, not like bot play?
I don't play myself really. I used to play like for a few months before I started making the bot, but I really haven't played much myself after that.
Yeah, too busy making the bot, I guess.
Yeah, but I do watch the pro games. It's entertaining, and it's even more fun the more you start understanding the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're taking a fort base.
I mean, it's actually quite good at the moment because Micro Machine's starting to expand himself to literally every base he can find.
Yeah.
So there's probably a window where you're not going to get harassed as much.
Yeah, the cyclones are contained at the moment.
They're just doing a little dance there. They're fine.
Yeah. Okay, but now the
Oh,
battle
they go.
cruisers start appearing, so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is where it gets interesting.
And interestingly enough, the battle cruiser seems to be keeping out of range of the tank as well. So I wonder if that's something that is problematic for Micro Machine. But oh, the disable matrix on the battle cruiser, that's going down. Nicely done. But there's another one coming in. Ooh.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges against Micro Machines specifically, that I'm able to keep the battle cruiser count low.
Yeah.
If JCBot is not able to get those battle cruisers, the battle cruiser count will just ramp up, and they'll just overwhelm the defenses eventually.
Yeah, it's always a problem. I think that's a problem for anyone against Terran. It's like as soon as they get a mass of battle cruisers, then it's pretty much game over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just looked down at the mini map again, and Micro Machine is doing its usual tactics of taking every single base possible.
Yeah. Let's see. JCBot has 4 bases at the moment, and currently it's not expanding, just building units, getting upgrades.
I mean, you got a decent work account, and you're pretty much mining as much as you can off of those, and you're starting to move out a bit now.
Yeah. All right.
So, let's see if we can get everything down here. Love to see three tanks siege up for 2 Marines. Maybe slightly overkill, but you'll take what you can get.
Yeah. Well, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Unsieged tanks get killed really fast.
Yes, they do. Even the sieged ones, if they go against the battle cruiser, another disruption matrix. So that's one more battle cruiser down. There's another one coming in though. Those Yamatos are getting a bit nasty. But yeah, he's only got 2 battle cruisers out at the moment, so...
Okay, now JCBot is pulling back.
Yeah.
Okay.
See Micro Machine harassing again. A little bit. But yeah, so how do you work out kind of like when to pull back or everything? Is that something you specifically designed yourself?
Well, that's actually pretty simple. Just the JCBot just uses the basic timings that a normal human player would use. So whenever we get a specific weapon upgrade, for example, we start moving out so we can get as much value out of that upgrade advantage that the bot might have for a while. So that push was the +2 weapon upgrade push. And then it decided to pull back when it saw that, okay, we have too few Marines and too few Vikings. Actually, it had too few of anything. And it just decided to pull back then. And when I made the first versions of the JCBot, I used to do those like parade attacks where the army gets constantly reinforced. But as you can see here, when the army started moving out, all the reinforcements stayed in defense. So the bot was building like a second wave there.
It's kind of like a fine line because you don't just want to walk everyone into sort of like a a meat grinder where they're going to get killed, but at the same time, if you can back up an attack, it's sometimes good to do that. But it's very difficult for bots to figure out exactly when that is sometimes.
Yeah. And I also noticed that when I started doing attack waves instead of the parade pushing, it was much easier to code the conditions for pulling back, for example.
Yeah.
And it seemed to give a little bit more safety when there was always some units defending while the bot is attacking.
Yeah, definitely. But that's good now. You seem to have managed to like contain him and take out this one base here. And that's another 2 battle cruisers going down, so doing quite well now. You definitely got a little bit of you're pretty much exactly equal on what you've got right now.
Yeah. Can we pause for a quick second?
Yes, paused.
Yep, now when there's so much action going on, actually the effects are too loud as well. So let me just, because I wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, that's fine. Let me go.
Okay, I'm at 16 minutes, 15 seconds.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, but you took out another battle cruiser there, so that's all good. It looks like you're winning the air war by quite a considerable margin now against those Vikings. So
yes, yep. The air war is very important in TVTs, especially. No matter if you're fighting against tanks or you're fighting against battle cruisers. Here, if Micro Machine was able to get the Viking superiority, I couldn't really do much against the battle cruisers. Then it will just be game over after that.
Yeah. Yeah, they are quite nasty. I think we saw them in the tournament. They just took over the air, and that was how we won, specifically.
Yeah. One of the things that I have had to work on is keeping the Vikings near the army, or actually keeping the whole army together, because Jezebel was losing to Micro Machine a lot of times just because the Vikings got isolated and picked off, and then it was GG after that.
Yeah. But it looks like you're going to be able to take out this base anyway. And I think Micro Machine is losing a lot of Vikings here that he doesn't really need to lose by going in like that. But yeah.
Now there's something nice happening on the right side of the map. There was another small attack.
Yeah. Looks like you're going to be able to go and get this base out anyway. But yeah, so... Ooh, that was a medivac, full medivac there that was taken out by the Yamato cannon, so... That's not ideal, certainly. But yeah, that's another base from Micro Machine gone, so you're gradually kind of like working up these areas to expand to, definitely.
Yep. So it's looking pretty good because Jezebel has some bank, so there's no rush to expand. And
you keep on getting these battle cruisers. Like, I think you've got a mass of Vikings now where you can pretty much just take out a battle cruiser before it even gets near to warping out.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Jezebel has 22 Vikings at the moment.
Wow. Yeah. And another base of Micro Machine is going down here. So... But yeah, so and Micro Machine's trying to build up another base here. I get the sense that's probably not the right choice here, Micro Machine, sorry. But yeah, you're pretty much full on supply now, and like you've got a huge bank, so you're in a really good position to just kind of like take over this game now. I think Micro Machine is very much struggling to replenish his army.
Let's see. He still has good production.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's slow to replenish those BCs, so
Yes. I don't necessarily think it's the minerals that are slowing him down, or it's a little bit. I think it's just he doesn't have enough. Oh yeah. Actually, I take that back. He has loads. Oof, did that get out? I don't think it did. So another battle cruiser taken down.
now Bot is pulling back, and there's another wave waiting at the moment, so it will most likely just start another attack right away.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this attack is likely to be fatal against Micro Machine. I don't think he has the. I don't think he's replenished everything fast enough at the moment.
Yeah, now it's a good situation because it takes so much time to clear this army that there's another army ready by the time, so it will be constant pressure.
And still those
Attack after
Vikings are crazy. And those battle cruisers going down so fast now.
Yeah, this game worked out really well on that side, so Micro Machine wasn't able to pile up battle cruisers, and that really helped Bot here.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, like, it doesn't matter whether it's human or bot or whatever. Like I say, as soon as you get a critical mass of battle cruisers, that's pretty much game over, because there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to check the two other games versus Micro Machines. I think those were both losses for Bot.
Ah, yes, I think so. Sorry.
So I'll have to check those.
But I decided to pick the one win to
there.
look at. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's I like to kind of like treat you nice when you come on the stream. You know, that way it's a good idea.
So I might come another time as well.
Yeah, you know. Well, you're welcome back anytime. So, but yeah, we'll just play at the conclusion of this game, I think. I say Micro Machine versus Bot tends to go long, I find. Tend not to be short games unless the early game goes really badly for you. I have seen a couple where it's like, I think there was one in a tournament where it only lasted about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But generally, if they go long, they'll favour you more, I think.
Well, it depends. It depends how the Vikings behave, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, if the Vikings do something very silly and just get killed, then it's pretty much a game and a win for Micro Machine.
Yeah.
But that's something I've been working on. So, for example, now the Vikings are pretty well covered because there's a lot of Marines.
Yeah.
Covering them.
So is that the main thing that you've changed since the tournament, or has there been a lot of other changes as well?
Yeah, a lot of changes. I don't even remember them all. But I guess that's the main thing that caused me pain.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess it was one of the hardest things to improve.
Yeah, it's once it gets to a certain level, it's very, very difficult to like change something without ruining everything else half the time. I often find that. Yeah, I think one thing Micro Machine doesn't necessarily do too well at this point is he doesn't necessarily take into account the incoming damage from all those Vikings when choosing exactly when to warp his battle cruisers out. So possibly something for Micro Machine to improve upon a bit there. But there's not so many Vikings now, and one of them's going to get taken out.
Yeah.
So,
The Viking count is getting lower,
yeah.
and most likely Bot will pull
But,
back after a while, but there should be another army, waiting on the
you're at full
lower
supply,
right base.
so yeah, you got a whole new army there with lots more Vikings. So, but you are still at full supply, and I think we see them there. Yeah, pulling back. Time to get out of there. But here comes the other army. But Micro Machine still has like 5 bases, 6 bases. 7 bases, sorry. I can't count. So,
Yeah. This will still take a take a while to finish.
yeah. Like I said, games against Micro Machine tend to go long, guys. So, but yeah. So the air war taking place over here, and the ground war just trying to take out that bottom middle base. But I mean, you still got the. I think you could probably do with another couple of Ravens in there possibly, and like that would make taking out the battle cruisers a bit easier. But
yeah, let's see. There's one Raven currently. Yeah, Jesse Bob tries to stay at 2 Ravens at the moment. So in the beginning, for example, it made a starport with Tech Lab and built 2 Ravens, and then switched the starport over to another place, and then built the reactor, and later builds another starport with the Tech Lab so it can replenish the Ravens.
So, do you save all the Raven energy for disables, or are you using any of the other abilities as well?
The Ravens are able to use the that AT missile, the Rhino cannon, whatever it's called. But yeah, but that requires that the opponent is like clumped up, or that they have enough units near the Raven.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't use the AT missile against like every unit type, mainly just Bio and Vikings, for example.
Yeah.
I don't think
it would
we've
certainly
seen
work very
any.
well. Yeah. It would work very well in winning the air war against Micro Machine to start with, certainly. But I think you're probably better off in this matchup just saving them for all disables on the battle cruisers, certainly.
Yeah. Disable is the priority for the Ravens at the moment.
Yeah.
So they focus on disabling the battle cruisers, and if there were enemy siege tanks, they would focus on disabling them as well.
Yeah. So in this situation, it could be worth just landing the Vikings in the main and seeing what happens. But like, I think you pretty much.
There are a lot of like these small things that I haven't added yet. Like, for example, now I think there's some kind of army at one of the expansions just waiting.
Yeah, just over here. But I think you've pretty much won this one now anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward this until we, because I think like you've pretty much won.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. We'll go through it a bit faster.
Thanks.
But yeah, no, it's good to see a lot more like development certainly from the tournament. Certainly you can tell that it's been moved along a lot.
Yeah, in the previous tournament, Bot just died to the proxy, and that's it. But now I've been able to get past the proxy get the natural, get
Yeah.
some macro game up. But now it's all about the army behavior. Vikings especially, their weak spot.
Yeah, certainly against Terran, it's definitely about getting those Vikings up and ready to go.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's good to see. Like I say, it's definitely been a lot more development on that since we last saw it in the tournament. So yeah. So what do we want to see next? Should we see the one against Three-Way Lover?
yep.
Get that one
Let's do
loaded
that.
up. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, Yamabushi I know has worked on this as well, but he was quite unprepared for the 4.11 patch, and I know a lot of people were as well. But it's kind of like one of those things of like I kind of wanted to follow Probots, but it was just kind of like at some point you've just got to rip the plaster off and go, well, we've got to use 4.11 really. That and like it's just too much work to keep two versions around and use data versions and everything like that. So you kind of have to at some point just go, fuck it, we're using 4.11. But
Yeah. For me, it was I was lucky that it was pretty simple to move to 4.11. Just get the ideas and then change the Liberator range upgrade to Fusion Core, and that was pretty much it.
yeah, I don't think a lot's changed. It's just hopefully everyone's bot still works. Let me know when you're ready to go though. I've got it set on 0 and paused.
Let me check the volumes.
Yeah.
Okay, they are still down. I can maybe drop the
Cool.
sound effects a little bit lower. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. I'll put the game up. Right. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Okay, some TVP action.
Definitely.
Certainly not hoping for tempests, but we'll see.
You never know. But yeah, I know Three-Way Lover's gone under a lot of development as well. So, it's always good to see new bots. Like I said, we had one bot on the ladder, that Play SC2 bot. Basically, what happened was, like, I normally, like, if I get new bots in, I'll sort of like run them on a test game first and make sure that they actually work. And I kind of looked around very quickly and I thought he was making something. In actual fact, he doesn't make anything. He just sits there on all his probes and mines. And so everyone got 3 free points this week, which is fine. But we'll disable that until he gets to build something next week, I think. But yeah. So do you do anything specifically different for TVP versus TVT?
The basic macro is pretty much the same, but the unit composition is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I guess Protoss, I will add the Marauders there, and then depending on whether it's a ground-based or air-based army, there's more or less Marauders mixed in.
Yeah.
But it's still the bio tank, like core units.
Yeah, I mean, you don't specifically go for any crazy proxies or anything like that.
Nah, nope. At the moment, it's just like a safe macro build, but
Yeah.
I just recently, this weekend, tested an all-in style. So I'm gonna add an all-in build as well. And the idea there is to switch to all-in style if the bot scouts something specific, what the enemy is doing, like being too greedy.
Yeah. So it's not something you kind of like developed so far. You always use kind of like the same kind of strategy every game.
Yeah, the base strategy is the same.
Yeah, that's cool.
Play a macro build, and then depending on what the enemy is doing, the composition might change. The support units might be different.
Yeah.
There might be in TVP, for example, if there's a land army, there will be more liberators and not that many Vikings.
So it looks like your Reaper is not going to get a lot done here. But I do notice something interesting as well. Like Three-Way Lover has built his second base out here, which is weird. Maybe that's just a map-specific thing. But yeah.
Isn't that the usual Three-Way Lover behavior? It sometimes builds the second Nexus at a remote location instead of natural.
Possibly, yeah, maybe. I don't know, because one of the maps definitely has like a third base that by air is closer than the natural, yet like that's confusing. Like I know my bot has that issue sometimes that I need to fix. That it will just go and build at the closest base, which isn't always the main natural.
Yeah, that's something I do with my bot, that depending on what the next expansion is, if it's third or fourth or fifth, it calculates the next expansion location a bit like different way, just so I wouldn't get like crazy expansions at silly locations.
Or you just could go for the Micro Machine version of just build every expansion possible. I mean, one of them's bound to be good, right?
Then he just doesn't have to think about it.
I don't know. Maybe that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's in chat, so maybe you can tell us. Is it just like, is your building at every expansion just a way to get around and finding out which expansion to build at? I don't know. But yeah, it looks like Three-Way Lover's coming in for a bit of an attack there. So yeah, take out the first little foray into your base quite easily.
Yeah, small poke.
Yeah. It's kind of even at the moment. I think Three-Way Lover does have a slight supply lead, but... So, at what points do you decide to get like upgrades and stuff? Is that something you look at specific timings, or is it match dependent?
Well, upgrades are pretty much get them as fast as possible, because then you might get an edge, especially if the opponent is late in their upgrades. It makes a noticeable difference.
Yeah. So I know you said before that you time your attacks based on specific upgrades and stuff. So I didn't know if that was kind of like you're timing the upgrades to time with those attacks, or you just jump into them and grab them when you can. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as possible, and then whenever the upgrades are close to finishing, the army decides if it should move out or not.
Yeah.
We were talking about silly expansions, and now GenziBot is doing one.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I don't know. It's actually quite close to the main, but it's I think might have some issues with that one as well. Oh god. Yeah, I might have some bugs to fix.
Yeah.
Actually, we were talking about it earlier. There is a game which I don't think you've seen yet, but where my bot Gumby's faces up against GenziBot, and we both bug out entirely. I mean, we may have time to go through that in a bit, but like, it's quite interesting for about the first 5 minutes, and then turns into very not fun while they stand and look at each other for 40 minutes more.
Yeah. And here, this weird expansion made GenziBot bug out a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see GenziBot is supply blocked at the moment, and that's because the SCVs at the third took all that time to travel to the third and start building depots there. So, but still got a push going on.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to be able to take this out. I don't think there's much nearby that can really stop you. You've got a few stalkers coming in. I mean, I do like the Stalker micro here from Three-Way Lover. It's quite nice. Seems to be able to take out a few of the units.
Now Jensibot might be in trouble because it was supply blocked for so long and
Yeah. So I think we see.
Three-Way Lovers attacking.
Yeah, looks like these tanks have been caught. It's going to go down pretty fast. Yeah, it does look like Three-Way Lover is going to try for a bit of a push here, but going into liberation zones is never fun. So, but I do notice that Liberator decided to unsiege at that point. That might have cost you a few Stalkers. But,
Yeah, there's some fine-tuning to be done.
yeah.
Sometimes I've noticed that they do these weird unsiegings. Alright. It's a game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like... I think, like you said, you were supply blocked on that little natural for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna probably fast forward this, but you've got that Liberator there, although he looks like he's going down. I think the problem Three-Way Lover's got is all his Immortals are blocking the Stalkers from shooting at the Liberators. But yeah, let's not prolong your pain. So fast forward out of this, because I think we can tell that you've fortunately suffered a loss there. Well done, Yamabushi. But yeah, there's always things like that, especially when you get new maps that like you're never quite sure which part your bot's going to bug out on. And unfortunately for you, it turned out to be that bit at the bottom right. But
Yep.
there's a few of them.
Yeah, I really haven't played any test games on the new maps, so
Yeah.
we'll probably find all kinds of weird behavior there.
But on the plus side, it didn't take half an hour like the Micro Machine one did.
Yeah.
So you know, your bot was nice and fast. That's good. We'll give it that. But yeah, what do you make of the new maps yet? Have you just not played any of them, or not seen them?
I haven't played them at all, so I really don't have any opinion about them at the moment. So we'll have to see
Yep, we'll
how it
figure
works
it
out.
We'll figure it out as it goes along.
Yeah, but
that's
definitely there was some change in that specific map compared to the previous map pools, like layouts.
Yeah, so let's go the next one up against Sharpened Edge. Give me a shout when you're ready to go on that. Another TVP. Is that your worst matchup, do you think?
It was 3 days ago.
Definitely.
Not anymore. So I got a lot of the problems fixed in the current version that's on AI Arena. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
There was a lot of pain with tempests.
Well, hopefully should be good for next week on the ladder. Yeah, I might actually release the results earlier and then just do the stream as a separate thing at some point, because it seems a bit bad. Like if I have the results on the Saturday, it's like holding on to them all through the Sunday. It's like I really should give them to people so they have the weekend to work on it, which it might be a better
an extra
thing.
day. Yep.
Yeah. So
I'm ready to go.
Cool. All right. Just let me get the catch up here. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So you're starting down here in the bottom right and up on the top left, Sharpened Edge. So Sharpened Edge actually has a really good library that they use for that. It's open sourced. Have you looked at that a lot?
I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm not really familiar with how it works and so.
Cool.
Okay, Cannon Rush.
Yeah. See, I just kind of like building everything from scratch myself, just because it's just that then I know everything I've got. But yeah, it looks like you've caught this cannon rush.
We'll see. Just
You,
chasing that one probe.
you got the probe, but that's a lot of lost mining time from all those SCVs. I mean, at this point, Sharpened Edge is not really like able to get anything more done. I don't think with this. But yeah, that's what is it? 9 SCVs you've got running after a single probe there.
Yeah, I think they're just A moving, so
Yeah,
they're focusing on the probe.
but yeah, so you do catch that. But like in terms of minerals,
Let's see.
you're probably about even, to be honest, because of all the lost mining time. But we'll see. So I think going back into this, I think Sharpened Edge now goes into a more kind of like macro-oriented game after this.
Yeah, at least stalkers.
Yeah.
Let's see if Gen Z bot can catch up.
Yeah, I think Imphy was saying in chat that the forge is really late, and you could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both second expansions were pretty much at the same timing.
Yeah. So I don't think there's much of an advantage for anyone yet. Sharpened Edge has a couple of workers, but that's kind of expected, I guess.
Yeah.
Of course, you have
Yeah.
the cheat of Protoss, which means that you don't need workers to actually build anything. Just go and warp them in.
Yeah. So yeah. After that cannon rush reaction, Gen Z bot is back in the safe macro build again.
Yeah.
So just getting to 3 bases and getting the production and upgrades.
Yeah. But yeah, you haven't got many offensive units out just yet. Although you do have the Reaper coming around here.
Yeah, the Reaper's role is just scout.
Yeah.
He can do some harassment, but that's not really the main point for the Reaper.
No. I think so. Sharpened Edge is getting a Stalker out now. It's a pretty late Stalker to get out as your first one. But I guess after the failed cannon rush, that was expected. And the Stalker just walks straight past the Reaper.
This is weird.
Hey, Stalker! Attack him! Attack him! There we go. That's the laziest Stalker I think I've ever seen. Like, I can't be asked to attack. I'll wait for him to come to me. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sunday, right?
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. But
It wasn't his shift.
someone else's problem.
Yeah.
More than my job's worth, yeah. Usual stuff. But yeah, so... Okay, so another Reaper coming out here. Are they all just mainly for scouting, or do you want to just add some extra pressure on to them as well?
This is actually the same Reaper.
Ah.
So it's
okay.
the first Reaper, and it's just for scouting. So first the Reaper goes to check the natural, then the main, then it scouts for the additional bases, and then later goes back to the main and checks the tech that the Protoss has. And then after that, if the Reaper is still alive, it will just keep on scouting the bases. like
Yeah.
it's doing at the moment.
It just seems to kind of patrol up and down and do its
Yeah.
own thing. I guess it gives you a bit of early warning if any of the opponent wants to push out at all.
Yeah, it could give if the bot had any kind of reaction to that. So, but that's something I'm planning to add
Yeah,
in the very near future.
always lots more to add.
Yep. Okay.
Let's see with C sharpened edge. I think he's going to move out a bit.
Yep.
Poor Reaper going down. So this one is obviously a lazy stalker again. Like, look at him behind his mates over there, or even that one possibly. Like, I think we need to start that as a meme, the lazy stalker. But,
Now you can see Bot is building more liberators because there's no Stargates at the moment, right?
I don't think so.
Gateway. Yeah, it's more gateways. Okay.
Yeah. But it managed to hold off that initial attack very, very well there. Take virtually no damage, I think. And going up to a third, I think Sharpened Edge is still not really interested in taking a third just yet. See a couple more gateways coming out. So it definitely looks like Sharpened Edge is going for more ground-based strategy rather than going into Stargates and against your favorite unit, the Tempests.
Yeah. So this is looking really good for Bot at the moment then.
Yeah.
Since there are no Tempests.
Yeah. So do you have a specific timing on salvaging the bunkers, or is it just whenever you can?
At the moment, it's when the third is finished.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
usually by that time, the opponent has done any sort of like early attack. They're going to do it. And by that time, I usually have enough units to defend without the bunker anyways.
Yeah. So the bunker won't make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
And the extra 75 minerals is probably more useful than another marine.
Yep. Small details.
Oh, we see another possible push out here.
Yeah. Let's see if Bot starts moving out at the same time.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one. As here we go.
Oh, actually, just yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Guess the Liberators are going to siege up. But Sharpened Edge is staying just out of range of the Liberators mostly. Actually, no. Yeah, it's going in. As you see, easily holding this this push from Sharpened Edge here. Like, you're so far ahead in this game now. It's
yeah, now it's Bot is pushing the +1 timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Liberators with siege tanks is very powerful combination.
Yeah, you can't easily get through that. It's very difficult. You just kind of like need to almost like grab them through, really. I think the tech's sieged up slightly late there, but you're still gonna easily win this engagement, I think. Unless those Liberators get taken down. But it looks like Sharpened Edge is gonna hold that one there.
Yeah. I'm at 10 minutes now.
Okay, I'm like slightly behind you. Pause for 5 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, go again.
Yep.
Cool. I'm at 10 now.
Yeah. Great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Bot had to pull back.
Yeah.
But
just until you build up another army. It looks like you got a fair clump of units coming out there. So I'm up to a 4th base now, with Sharpened Edge still just on the 2 bases. So yeah, I'd imagine the next push is going to do a fair bit of damage, if not win the game entirely.
Yeah, it probably will win the game because there's so much more stuff
Yeah.
against this stuff. No, Sharpened Edge is expanding. Okay.
Yeah. And sending all his units over there at the same time. So maybe an opportunity to just go straight into the main, but obviously you're not to know that. So it's interesting that Sharpened Edge would choose right now to push out again. It doesn't seem like a good timing from Sharpened Edge, definitely. And you're going to also choose the moment to push out. So I take it it's not like anything that you know their timing or anything like that you choose to push out. It's just kind of like luck that you're getting.
Jason Bot just started to attack because of +2 timing.
Yeah.
So it was just coincidence. But now you can see there's a lot more Marauders in the unit composition compared to the TVT, which was only Marines. And
yeah. I mean, this certainly isn't a matchup where you need that number of Vikings to, unless like Sharpened Edge is going air. But it looks like you're just completely wrecking face here. So
yeah.
So there goes the 3rd, and it doesn't look like Sharpened Edge is going to be able to hold this. So down to just 8 army supply. And here come all the workers. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward.
Looks like a game. Yep.
Yeah, let's get to the end here because bots can't GG, boys.
Actually, Sharpened Edge can.
Yeah.
At least I've seen.
Actually, Tyr does as well.
Yeah.
So that's it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So yeah, so that's it's been a lot of fun. I think. Thank you for coming. We could go over one last one if you want to view the extremely funny bugged out one I was talking about earlier.
Let's do it.
If you have time. Okay,
I'll
find that. Just give me 1 second. Hold on, I'll need to find it first. Let's go down the list. Actually, you can download it from the website, or I can send it to you.
Yeah, let me check it out.
There we go.
It's the one on Zen.
Yes, that's the one. Hold on. Okay, I'll send it to you, or you can download it.
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
So yeah, this is the bonus one where we both bug out. It's funny though.
It's interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, so like I said, the main problem with my bot is like I coded in like a bunch of different strategies, and the first initial strategy was meant to be go in, soften them up, and then switch to something else. Unfortunately, my bot didn't quite get the message of switch to something else, and yeah. But let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So like I said, I coded my bot with a bunch of Monty Python quotes. And basically, every time it picks a different strategy, it will basically throw out a Monty Python quote and tell you what it's doing. But I'm not actually showing the game. So, yeah, that's fine. But yeah. So unfortunately, my initial strategy doesn't seem to work very well against you.
So what is your bot doing at the moment?
So like there's basically like 2 or 3 initial strategies I got, which like initial harass. I either go through adepts or oracles, or I try this strategy, which is slightly more aggressive, and basically just build a bunch of proxy gateways and see what I can get done, and just send in some zealots. But yeah,
All right.
but yeah, I think the problem up against your bot was it just got out a bunch of early defenses, and yeah, so triple gateway proxy, why not? Hey, actually, no, I think I go up to 4 at some point.
Yeah, isn't 4 the magic number for
Yeah,
gateways?
proxy 4 gates.
Yeah,
That's my
classic.
name.
Yeah, you mentioned that you have Oracle Harass
Yeah.
as one of the strategies. Yeah, it would be nice to see more oracles in bot games as well. I think there are a few bots that can do Oracle Harass.
Oracles are very, very good because you can use them for harass, but they're actually like really good in bot games because of the stasis fields as well. So you can just kind of like get those out, and that really confuses a lot of bots because they'll
Yeah.
know that they have army there, but they won't necessarily check for the fact of is it stasis or is it not. So they'll think they've got an overwhelming army supply when actually half of them are standing around in the stasis field. Oh my poor guys, my poor guys! Don't chase him all the way across the map. Oh yeah, and this is the one where I was supposed to switch out of a different strategy on here as well. Unfortunately, my probes stand around doing nothing while getting harassed, which they shouldn't do, which is definitely not what I had programmed. And I need to figure that out.
You know, the zealots are attacking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good attacking into a bunker. But yeah, it's basically the problem I have of like my probes aren't actually doing anything here. I think that your bot is showing very bad manners by like I'm already telling you that I wasn't ready and like you're still going on attacking.
But still keeps on attacking. Yep. Now the Reaper doesn't care anymore. Oh, it started attacking again.
Yeah, so basically this is how I got the most buggy game with my bot ever. It's like my probes don't do anything, I don't swap strategies, it's like, guys.
Let's see how Gen bot gets stuck. No, it's not rebuilding the reactor. I guess the tank is blocking it.
That's the problem.
It's still building the CC though.
Yeah. And yes, so now my bot's supposed to switch strategies, but it doesn't know what to do because it hasn't switched strategies. So I think
The zealots are just chilling there.
yeah. And it's I think you got Liberator coming over. Well, that's gonna chill. Oh, and I think the Liberator's going to fly over to my base, but it's got nothing to actually do because you've already
Yeah.
killed all my probes.
Yeah, I'm scanning to see what's here.
Yeah, I've got one probe left.
Checking for
This
the
guy
tech.
here, it's fine. But yeah, let's fast forward this a little bit because this goes on for 45 minutes, guys, of just sitting around not doing anything. Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, I think we both bug out and
Yeah. Chelsea but just stopped doing the build order for some reason, and it's not building any marines. So because it has so few marines, it will never attack. There, nice.
so
GG.
yeah, GG. I mean, I could show you this for 45 minutes, but let's call it there.
Excitement.
Yeah. GG. So yeah, basically the upshot is like I have a huge amount of bugs to fix, but you less so. But still, I guess
But
there is
still,
that
the new
one.
maps.
Yeah, they're going to supply their own challenge, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your bot that you haven't already, or is it?
Well, yeah. Do you have any questions?
I mean, I guess it's more kind of like the future plans. Do you have any like large upgrades planned, or is it just small modifications?
So, I guess I got the macro part pretty much done at the moment. So I'm going to focus a lot on army control, how the bot moves its army around the map and positioning, things like that, and also scouting and map control. Like you mentioned, that the Reaper, for example, can help me spot the enemy army when it's moving out. But at the moment, the bot doesn't have any reaction for that. But I'm planning on adding like reactions for those kind of things, so the bot would actually be able to spot the enemy army when it's coming and do something like position its army better, etc. I hope that I at some point get to the point where I could start figuring out some sort of map analysis for the bot, because at the moment it's very basic. Yeah, it can figure out defensive ramps, etc. But
yeah, there's still a whole lot to do. So have you tried playing up against like your bot against human players at all?
Not until now, because I wasn't able to get it running in real time. Or actually, I got it running on my computer, but it wasn't working on ProBots when they had their this show match versus human players. But my bot didn't work for some reason, but maybe at some point I'll get to fix that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be good to play against.
It would be really nice to see how it does against humans.
Yeah, I know Micro Machines had some success. Maybe not as much as Alpha Star, but we'll get there. Hopefully one day we'll see Alpha Star on the SC2AI ladder, which would be a lot of fun. I don't know that they're still working on it, but maybe Timo isn't able to tell us. But yeah, I don't know. So definitely plan on keep on working on it then. No plans to branch out. One thing I did see this week was the Rocket League AI guys have had their tournament where they done like synchronized dancing for Rocket League AI.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's something we could do with the Starcraft bots.
I'll
put a link in chat if
make different kind of images with units, positioning them and making art.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, I already played around with doing like probe positions, and you can spell out GG on the map with
Yeah,
probes.
that kind of stuff.
But I figure like if I have enough probes left to actually do that, I probably shouldn't be surrendering anyway. So
Yeah.
have you been following much of the DeepMind stuff and everything? Or
Mm, yeah, I checked out all the streams they did uh, on AlphaStar. I also downloaded the replays. Uh, I think I didn't watch, or I haven't watched all of the replays yet, but I've been going through them like once in a while, and yeah, it's it's pretty cool stuff that AlphaStar can do. But then there are some things that it doesn't do, like scouting, for example, which is something I cannot even imagine how a machine learning algorithm could find that out at the moment.
yeah, but
So
you've got no plans on adding any machine learning to your bot at all, or anything?
not at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it just scripted all the way.
It's something that I want to do a lot more, certainly for like micromanagement of units. I know Mada does it like on his strategy selectors, which is always good to have. But yeah, like something I'd be interested in trying it and like seeing how it works. Obviously, we don't have the resources of DeepMind or anything to train that, and even if we did, I think we'd struggle.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's not to take away from.
yeah. But never say never.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe at some point, if I get bored to doing the scripted bot, I might start, learning ML stuff. But at the moment, I have so many things I want to add to my scripted bot and ideas. So it will take a long while for me to get bored to the scripted stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, anyway, I know it's getting pretty late where you are now, so I probably better let you go. But thank you very much for joining me and going through
Thank
your
you.
bot. Hopefully, you've given us some tips on how to beat you,
Yeah.
which is it's always good. But no,
Yep.
very very much appreciate you coming on. And if you fancy coming back
Thank you.
sometime and looking over a few more replays, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Awesome.
I will happily talk about my boss. Of course, who wouldn't?
Brilliant. But yeah. So everyone else, thank you for tuning in and watching. We'll be back next week. Like I said, we'll have some slight changes next week. Biggest one being I've decided not to save the results for the show. I'm going to release the results as soon as we have them. I think that's fairer to the bot makers, and hopefully it will give you more time to kind of implement any changes you want to make over a weekend, which is good. So thanks everyone for joining us, and hopefully see you all next week.